that everyone else is wearing. Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are a magazine as unique as you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Here we go again. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon on radio, on television, on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with me, Corey Johnson on YouTube. Click to subscribe to that YouTube channel. Doesn't cost a dime. But first, here's Drew Brees. Oh, boy. Mario, why'd you hand me this show sheet saying this is Texas El Paso? I'm prepared for a Texas El Paso program.
Man, shout out Eddie Guerrero.
The guy just said it's New Orleans, dude. I got to do a New Orleans show now. All I know is Texas El Paso. That's all I'm prepared for. All right. This guy sitting next to me, if you're watching on TV or YouTube, it's Dan Reel. The Real Deal with Dan Reel. How are you, Dan?
I'm good, man. Thanks, Corey. Glad to be here.
Yeah. If Dan's going to, what, his mic needs to be closer, or you need to just jack it up?
No, just take a little bit closer to you, man.
You know what, Dan? Unscrew that little thing right. Oh, no, the other one. Yep. Yeah.
Love some live engineering.
And then just slide that towards you some more. Yeah.
There you go.
Is that good?
Yeah, you should be. Just move it a little closer.
And then tighten that back up again. The little one.
Just talk right into it.
How's this? All right.
Hello. Yeah.
Mario, go in there and fix it.
There you go. No, you got it now. Yeah, closer to your mouth.
You got to tighten up the little one and the big one. Yep.
All right. I'm glad we didn't test this before.
How's that? It's good.
That's on me.
Levels are good.
We can work with it. Yep.
All right. Yeah, just jack it up. Dan Reel, The Real Deal, joining us. Dan, real quick, you've been with us now for a few months every Tuesday in the 4 o'clock hour, usually by phone. You're joining us live in the Buddy Deliberto Total Maintenance Studios today. Glad to have you in studio. Who's Dan Reel? What's your kind of resume, and why am I having you on the program? I know why I am, but why? What would you say?
I'd say that I like to dust it up with you a little bit. The city matters to me. I retired from Caesars after 28 years, and we decided that this was going to be our home. Raised 3 daughters here, and just enjoying the city. This is a passion of mine. I stay in tune with the politics and all the other issues. And I enjoyed your show. So I was very happy to be able to be a part of this. And that's just how it worked out. I'm just lucky to have the time.
Yep. No, I'm glad to have you, man. You got lots of opinions, a little more conservative leaning than, say, in the middle or left. You definitely lean right. No, I wouldn't say extreme, but definitely conservative Republican leaning. And there's not enough of that, especially in New Orleans. So I'm definitely glad to have you. As someone who's not from here, why did you and your wife stay and raise your kids here? Why are you making this your home?
After the first 6 months when we moved, my wife was not happy. We lived in Omaha. That's where I met her. I'm from Chicago originally.
Wow.
You probably still hear that.
An Omaha woman in New Orleans. That is a diametrically opposed situation.
That is true. It wasn't that much for me because south side of Chicago, I was comfortable wherever we went.
And you're in the casino industry.
That's right.
Come on. New Orleans is like built for that. Indirectly, we're like a casino.
Yeah. And then the kids all formed their best friends. And then my wife, while I was at work, just formed a huge group of friends. And now she would feel like we were leaving something that meant more to us than anything we've ever had as a couple. So this is our home, and we have family still in the Midwest, and we go see them. But this is home forever.
The good gimmick would be to be in the Midwest right now, maybe, huh?
It's still not much better. I would absolutely trade the 6 months of snow and freezing cold compared to sucking it up for 90 days.
I would too, but I just meant in an ideal world, like kind of beelining out of Dodge in May and maybe coming back in September and going up to the Midwest and then stay here from like September, October through April, May.
Yeah, I would just tell you that right now in Chicago, it's unbearably hot as well. So like I said, it's just a
plus a lot
trade-off.
of places with no AC and stuff like that.
It's crazy. And the traffic there, I sound like an old man already,
Yep.
but that has a lot to do with it. Life for me now is my kids and convenience.
I hear that. Dan Reel's with us, a slew of topics each and every week. The phone number, if you'd like to join us, 766-9480. If you have a question or comment for Dan or me or a critique or whatever, 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Dan, you ready to jump into it? I got, like I said, a slew of topics like we always do.
No, I'm excited. Let's do it.
All right, let's get into it.
Just so the audience knows, right, that I don't know what you're going to talk about, and you don't know what my opinion is going to be.
Yep.
We just have at it, right?
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think I texted you maybe just a little while ago, like a general list, but not like kind of an outline form,
Yeah, I think.
But I remember when we first started, because you didn't know how things were going to go. I was like, I don't need to know, Dan.
Yeah.
And I'm not scared to say I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good topic. Wow. Fill me in on it.
That's right.
I always thought this. You're telling me it's not that, I have no problem. I want to learn. I'm not scared.
I'm the same way, and that's why I'm not afraid to form an opinion either.
Yep. Hey, Louisiana's weaker ethics laws. I'm shockingly liking a lot of what Jeff Landry's doing, but also I'm not liking some of the stuff. First off, Shane Guidry. I mean, like, who's Shane Guidry? That's just crazy. Like that he has, I know it's sort of ridiculous. And, but besides that, I always thought the ethics board in Louisiana, it didn't have much bark, much less any bite. And now you're making it weaker. And these politicians were complaining like any little thing we do wrong, they come after us. I'm like, was that really a quote? Any little thing we do wrong, they come after us. Yeah, you're elected officials. So that's the mentality right there in a nutshell to me, Dan.
It is. And it's a power play. You know that you have the power. So there's no problem. Less ethics, you're in power. You can do a lot of things. And then if the Democrats came back into power, or they had John Bell or someone else, all of a sudden we're worried about the ethics code again. So, hey, you just got to keep an eye on it. Follow the money like anything in life. But this isn't surprising. I think Jindal bumped it up a little bit after dealing with
on paper.
Yeah, you're right. There was no bark, but at least there was an effort. Here, it's just to take it away. But I just hope that investigative reporters and others do their job, and then we'll find out who's doing what and move on.
I mean, think how dysfunctional New Orleans is. Thank God for like the IG and Raphael Goyeneche, the Metropolitan Crime Commission, and what you just mentioned, like the investigative reporters like Hammer and Travers Mack, Lee Zurich. I mean, they save our rear ends, man. Otherwise, it would just be 100% inmates running the asylum.
Yeah, and I give them a lot of credit. It's not easy for them. They
That's
need to get
fun.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a fun gig.
Well, and they need quotes as well, and they need access, and you got to balance that. But I think they do a great job. The local reporting here really does take their job seriously, and I appreciate it. I enjoy it much more than even the national networks.
I've joked with Raphael and Ed Michelle, like we all have a job and always will because of the dysfunction.
That's right.
You're a Chicago guy. New Orleans is like a Chicago, New York, or LA news cycle down here. It's insane.
Yeah, the Chicago politics, that's where vote early, vote often came from. And they also had
vote often.
Yeah, they had a wing in the prison system for the governors, because year after year after year they ended up there. So it's it's a weird situation in a city that large that they end up with the people they do running it, but it's a mess there too.
I still, but still love it though. What a
Yeah.
great city.
Listen.
What a world-class city, Chicago. It's what I love about it is it's kind of blue collars like New Orleans in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think what happens is the residents are what preserves the city. So if you were relying on the mayors or anybody else, forget it, you're done. But you can see what happens here with an absentee mayor. We're still running the city, and actually we're getting better services in than she wants.
Is that a good thing that she's an absentee mayor? I mean, in some ways, the junkets are a plus.
Yeah.
So I can't do any damage when you're in France.
Yeah, I mean, I probably know a lot of people that wouldn't mind paying her 50 grand to go to France.
No doubt, exactly. The Sewage and Water Board's $300 million power substation supposed to be open right now. We're in hurricane season. It won't open until next month, a few more weeks. That's not ideal, obviously, but I think Ghassan Corbin, who has left, is going to be sorely missed. I don't know about this new guy from Philly. Is he legit like Ghassan Corbin? Is he a political appointee? We're going to have to wait and find out. Is the Sewage and Water Board going to continue to move forward, or is it going to regress back into, a New Orleans political blunder like it's been? But in a few weeks, they'll cut the ribbon on that substation. That's going to be a major game changer.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a shame it's waiting a month to go live, because we're obviously in a situation where anything can happen. But what a difference it's going to make. I mean, it's finally moving into the 21st century infrastructure, and it's going to be a good thing for the city. And I just hope that becomes expected. It shouldn't be a nice surprise for a city like this to get good things.
I'll never forget, I was doing, it must have been sports talk back then, and that brothel list, there was this house of prostitution in New Orleans on Jeff Davis that was very famous or infamous, and there was a brothel list, and people were fearful that this list was going to be released. And all the time on my show, I was like, I was so stupid to use personal checks and credit cards. I'm going to be on the top of the list. And I forgot who wrote the article, but they're like, these people most definitely aren't on the list. And I was like one of the names because I was making so much fun about it. House Republicans vote to block the release of the Epstein files. I mean, Dan, I think it's easy to be like, Trump's on the list, Clinton's on the list, Prince Andrew's on the list. I mean, we've heard all the rumors. I have no idea who's on the list. I don't know the depth of the depravity of what's going on there, but all Republicans voted. I think 211 Republicans voted to keep it secret. 210 Democrats voted to release it. I don't know what to make of all that. The obvious thing is Trump's on that list, but I just think that's too obvious.
Yeah. Listen,
should it
you
be
go
released?
back in anybody's past, but what I will say is what can't be lost is the sickness of what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Like that is, now we're getting into the gossip phase decades later, but that is disgusting what happened. And again, a dad of 3 daughters, it makes me really sick to see it. But I'm
shocked I'm shocked. Maybe someone did get shot and killed. I'm shocked people weren't killed by parents. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spot. TM-AC.com, your cool spot.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Roll call.
Kenner, Metairie, Harahan, River Ridge, Algiers, Gretna, Harvey, Terrytown, West Wego. We got you covered.
I've been talking about Latrim for 15 plus years. You want to know why? Because Latrim, every single month, every quarter, every year, every decade, they grow and grow and grow. They've been on a continuous growth mode for about 40 or 50 years, and I'm not kidding you. If you go to their website, latrim.com, they've got dozens and dozens and dozens of positions available, a job, a career for you. East Bankers, West Bankers, Elmwood's the place, the Latrim facility in Elmwood. North Shore, folks, Latrim has an I-12 facility. Latrim.com is the website. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program, live in studio, The Real Deal with Dan Real. We're getting some gravy, some lanyard. You'd just be joining us via the phone line about right now, Dan.
Yeah, I like this better.
Yeah, but this thing, look at this thing, Mario. Just this thing does not want to cooperate.
Yeah, it did.
Right. You know
That's ridiculous.
We'll do
that sucks. Got to fix that thing.
Yeah, listen, we can work through it.
All right. I thought I fixed it during the break, and the thing just
it sunk.
It needs a blue chew or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah,
I never understood. I don't understand those commercials, Dan. All the women are like 25. I'm like, your boy 25 you're dating needs the blue chew? Wow, it's 2025. What I guess no work ethic. Can't come in tomorrow. I got to go to my brother's party. No 2 weeks notice. Mario can relate to all this, his generation. He's one of the opposites that actually does work. I guess that the mental stress is freaking him out. What's up with that?
It's a different world, man. I'm just glad that I'm out of the industry right now because, I was lucky. Our employee base was solid. They were residents. They loved it here. They worked hard.
You never got a not coming in tomorrow, Dan, have to go to my brother's party?
No, we would do that once in a while, and then they'd have to go to their brother's party from their new job because they wouldn't have a spot anymore with us.
Yeah, 2,500 employees almost. Yeah, my guy was running a restaurant, and he's like, I got to let this loser go to the brother's party because I can't replace him yet.
Yep.
Going to fire him when I can, but I can't fire him right now where he deserves to be fired.
Yeah, I opted the other way, to be honest. I went soft and let the team shrink if we had an issue. We didn't let that fester. I just couldn't do it. I've learned a long time ago. I don't ever think I've ever fired anybody too soon in my life. Like, I don't look back on it and say, I didn't give them a chance. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I don't have a lot of patience for that. We're delivering worldwide hospitality representing the city. You better be here.
Dan Reel's with us. It's The Real Deal with Dan Reel. Look at Mario Brothers. We bummed him out. I was dogging his generation. He's all depressed over there.
Man. Not me. I can't relate.
You're a hard worker, bro.
I try to be.
Your
Not
fel-
only a hard worker, he wants more work.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's his fellow
So,
30-year-olds.
No one wants more work, but people want more money.
Yeah.
So if you got to work there to get there.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I'm listening to this Gen Z, whatever, some 30, 35-year-old, maybe 28, 27-year-old. And just really, I was like impressed in the beginning. The end just was a total atom bomb explosion. He's like, I just don't understand this generation, especially you adults. You just keep running up the deficit, just trillions of dollars, trillions of dollars. I don't know how you expect our generation to pay for this when we don't intend on working. I was like, wow, that was great until the end.
Yeah, you lost me there.
And then just Enola Gay dropped its load and blew up Hiroshima. With
Yeah,
that
you know,
comment.
I did a post the other day, ironically, when I was at the airport in Columbus, Ohio. Or no, I was in Nashville from Columbus. And I went by this store, Corey, and looking in, they had Coke, Pepsi, every kind of soda, every kind of water. They had 4 different flavors of Doritos. They're all lined up down the stand. I'm like, do you know what half the world would do if they saw this right now? Like, we have everything. And to give you an idea, they had Bear, they had Aleve, they had Advil, they had Tylenol. And I'm sitting here going, what a world we're living in that I could choose out of all that. I'm in the airport, people just walking by, you know, it's just half the world would look at that store and be like, I'm in heaven.
I thought you were going to say they were all going to get fat.
Well, maybe. I've got a lot of airport poundage on me.
That might just be New Orleans. Man.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm telling you. All right, Dan, let's keep rolling along. Louisiana has canceled the Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project. I mean, just basic vanilla, what I know, I want to use every tool in the tool belt. This thing was studied by bipartisan, Republican and Democrat governors. This guy, Gordon Dove, he's not some expert who's in charge of it that the governor appointed. The governor doesn't know enough. And it's like 3 or 4 people seem to be advising him, and he's 86ing a $3 billion paid for project that the overruns are irrelevant. The state doesn't pay for the overruns. All this BS about we can't afford it. We're not paying for it. So I think this is the needs of the few outweighing the needs of the many. Typical Louisiana political crap. A few dozen oystermen, not hundreds, a few dozen oystermen, a few dozen fishermen, a few dozen politicos in Plaquemine, and a few dozen movers and shakers in Plaquemine have canceled this $3 billion project. I'd say 70 to 100 white males have canceled this $3 billion paid for project. It's a disaster. It sends a terrible message.
Yeah, I'm for the greater good, as you always hear. So, you know, when we were talking about what Michael's dealing with in St. Bernard at the port, I know that the traffic will be tough. Work through it. It's going to be better in a couple of years. This is the same way. The city and the state needs stuff like this to happen.
Yep.
We are a target. And I'll tell you, back to 2015, when I was lobbying to try to get the expansion of Caesars, this was a big topic then. And I didn't even know what they were talking about, how far out you can go with your boat before, you know, it affects the oysters. And then it's a thing, and it's been a thing for a decade. And I think you nailed it. The right people know the right people, and they got this done.
Yep. Simple as that. Hey, Biloxi could get 2 new casinos. I think the win $700 million into Beau Rivage, like 25 years ago, talk about overshooting the market. I remember the Bridges golf course, Arnold Palmer, Stan Torgeson. You probably know Stan or knew who he was. He came down. He loved golf. He got Arnold Palmer to design the course, had all kind of amenities, Torgies on the green. They overshot the market, downgraded. Beau Rivage went bankrupt a few times. The newer casinos like, I guess, IP or Golden Nugget, Hard Rock, those are like a couple $100 million, not $700 million.
Right.
But it's 2025. I think 2 new casinos in Biloxi that might be $1 billion being spent there. Definitely hundreds of millions for each one. Talk about that, Dan, but more importantly, something I brought up before with you. Even when you were running Caesars and Harrah's, I brought it up with you on the show years ago. Why is there this silly casino monopoly, this land-based monopoly? I don't get it. I think you have a Walgreens on a corner, a CVS opens across the street. The Walgreens does better and the CVS is viable. It becomes like a drugstore corner. I think Caesars and Harrah's would do better with a couple of casinos competing. It would become more of a casino destination. Might get a nonstop from Mexico City, things of that nature. You know the industry better than anybody. What do you think about all of that?
Well, I'll start with the Biloxi situation. There's not going to be anywhere near $1 billion. So these are going to be some entertainment complexes. It might reach that with everything involved.
That's what I was thinking.
But nobody's building a casino for more than,
Two-
100 or $200 million in the outside of Las Vegas or some other big cities. New York, they're going to have $1 billion facilities in New York, and they're choosing 3 of 8 remaining. As far as New Orleans, you don't want that here. I'm out of the industry. This is an amazing hospitality city, and they overreached when they tried to limit the casino and the hotel, when it first came here. But that property, and again, I'm not affiliated anymore. I will tell you just from being in the industry, that property put $1 billion into that city, downtown, and over $1 billion in taxes. And it doesn't mean you should have hands off, but we paid quite a bit to get a 30-year extension. And that place is beautiful, and it's an asset to the city. But you don't want to have casinos up and down the line.
I don't think you would. I don't think we'd ever be like Biloxi where we have a dozen or so, but I think you'd have like a couple come in where you'd have like 3, maybe 4 tops, and they'd all be like $1 billion complexes to compete with Caesars.
Where are you going to put those?
Warehouse District, down Convention Center Boulevard, down by River District, where they're building. What are they building? Where they building the Convention Center Hotel? That could have been a spot.
You think somebody's
there's
going to
some
come
spots.
here to go down by Mardi Gras World to go to a casino?
I think wherever you build something that's a monstrosity, that's got all the amenities like Caesars and Harrah's, I think they'd go.
All right.
As long as it's near, you're right. I mean, you can't have it off where it's miles away, a mile away, but as long as it's in the CBD warehouse district, I think you're fine.
There's an obligation that I felt running that property to make sure that I fit in with the rest of the city, from an employment base, from who are our vendors to who are our employees. Everything needed to come together. And I take a lot of pride that for 15 years, I wasn't on the front page of the paper, because that's not where I want to be.
Yeah.
I wanted to be in the meetings with the business people, and I wanted to make things better. And I think we did. If you had a few more, I'm just telling you, watch what happens in Las Vegas over the next 6 months, and really watch Atlantic City. They're in trouble.
But both places are in trouble?
Atlantic City's in deep trouble.
Well, they've been in trouble for a decade plus.
Yeah, they made a comeback, but now online is killing them, the brick and mortar.
What's happening in Vegas? What's going to go wrong there?
This would be $26 in Vegas. $26. I'm not kidding. And, somebody posted the other day, they had like
it'd be 8 or 10 in the quarter.
$26, Corey?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. So put that up against other things. $55 a night resort fees every night. So you might think you got a $150 room. By the time that's done, it's $225. You go to dinner, even at a modest place, $110, $120 per person. Not even drinking a nice bottle of wine.
Right.
It is pricing itself out of the market, and they're gonna pay. Places like Wynn and Venetian, they'll always do well.
Yeah.
But you're gonna watch places like the Resorts World, some of the Caesars properties, they're gonna struggle. I'm telling you, you can't charge for an omelet, a glass of orange juice, and a black coffee. You can't charge $98.
No, it's gone the opposite. You remember everything was free?
What was it?
$1.99 steaks
That's
and all
right.
that.
It's-
Free hotel rooms, all that. It's the exact opposite.
They're going to keep pushing until they can't push no more, and then they're going to go backwards. So for now, they're right on that cliff. And I'm telling you, it's uglier than you realize.
So they're going to have to go back to making gaming the big generator of money, not all the extra stuff outside.
Well, they've crushed you with gaming. So blackjack pays 3-2 when you get a blackjack. They've made it 6-5. Doesn't sound like a big deal. It's a huge deal.
Yeah, of course.
Blackjack is what you celebrate.
Yeah.
Now you're getting $6 for your $5 bet instead of $7.50.
Yeah.
That's one example. They've added a 0 to the roulette wheel. 3 zeros.
Yikes. Wow. No, that's crazy.
I mean, think about that.
No,
But
that says it all.
But the payouts don't change.
No. Hey, we're coming right back. The Real Deal with Dan Real.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy. That's pretty much how we roll here. You can rip me all day long. 766-9480. Don't say anything bad about Blue Boy. Hey, live in studio, it's the real deal. Dan Reel's with us. Yeah, you're right, Dan. Thanks for coming in.
As often as you'll have me, Corey.
Yep. I think we got the mic stand pretty much fixed. How's that?
Yeah, each segment you get it closer to covering my face.
Yep.
I'm taking the hint.
Yep, exactly. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
You ready to get back into it?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. The Real Deal with Dan Reel, a slew of topics. We do it every Tuesday, 4:00 hour, every Tuesday. Put it in your phone, set an alarm. Hey, the Times-Picayune had an article last week. 1/3 of all apartments in New Orleans East are for sale. Dan, I say this, with this thought in mind. We do have a housing crisis for, kind of the sin industry, folks that work for you. They have to live out in the East or way out in Metairie or Kenner and work at Harris and come in because they can't afford rent. So we need more affordable housing. The crap in the East is terrible, especially the stuff that they're talking about. Tear it down, plant some trees. You ever drive down I-10 in the East? I mean, there isn't a tree to be seen out there. It's insane. Tear down those apartment complexes and plant a bunch of trees. There's supposedly only 4,300. That number seems low. I would think there are 10 or 20,000 apartments in the East, but they say about 4,300. About 1,500 of them are for sale, available. Some entity, public entity, needs to buy them and raise them, tear them down.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, no matter what you try to do there's going to be opposition. It's weird. It's almost
come on.
It's
New Orleans.
Yeah, it's better left alone.
They were fighting. You remember the blight at the gas station on
Yep.
Rampart and Esplanade? We don't want a Havana outpost. We want blight.
Yeah.
People are insane.
It is insane. And you know what happens is in a couple of years, you look back and you realize that was the best thing to do in the world. And,
Exactly.
you know, everybody will get worked up over tax breaks for that area or the pricing of the housing or what you do with it, or you avoid every type of situation that would probably be what they need, which is a very aggressive and committed infrastructure plan. We need New Orleans East to be a healthy
Yes,
place.
of course.
It doesn't do the city any good to have 1,400 empty units. And, you know, it's just a shame because the better the housing, you start to maybe get some grocery stores. We've talked about that in the
Exactly.
past.
Yep. No, all that naturally, organically happens.
Think about that. If you fill those other 1,400 units, you probably have the ability to have a successful grocery store. And then things start happening. And I'll be honest, if I was running the city, I would commit as much time and energy to fixing the East as I would keeping the French Quarter going.
But it's so typical though, like money's there, like 25, 30 million for Lincoln Beach, dragging their feet. It ain't opening this summer, obviously, won't be open next summer. It's like you have the money, spend it. Then there's money to get the service roads working better in New Orleans East and build these pedestrian bridges so people aren't running across the interstate, mangling those chain link fences. They're going to have those in between the exits. Like you obviously can walk through, Crowder, Reed, and Bullard, but in between those, you're going to have these pedestrian bridges. And folks in the East are complaining, spend the money on this, spend the money on that. It's like St. Bernard with the port. It's like you should be down on your knees thanking God. Wow, we're getting Lincoln Beach. They want to invest in the service road so businesses could actually be on the service road, and then pedestrians can safely cross the interstate from one side to the other, and people are complaining. I don't understand New Orleans and Louisiana people sometimes.
Well,
crazy.
You know, it's not just here, Corey. You know, I will tell you from living in some other cities, anybody that listens to the vocal, significant minority in both parties or the extremes, if you will, if you give that any attention, you are hurting the citizens of your city and you're hurting advancement. You cannot listen to just the 13 people that show up and yell at the city council meeting on a Thursday at 10 a.m. People are working and you're listening to that and you're being influenced by it when it does not represent the greater good. So I'm just passionate about that. The cities that just plow forward, you know, like Austin did and Nashville did, they go out and get it. And they dealt with the other situations as they went. And then we look back and we're saying, wow, it's beautiful there.
No, it's unbelievable. No, we cut off our nose to spite our face. CBS announcing, speaking of, CBS announcing they're canceling the Stephen Colbert show. I think that's 100%. I've never watched, I don't watch any of that. I'm telling you, I don't think I've watched a minute in my life at 10:30 at night. I mean, I may have seen a clip, but I've never watched a minute in my life of Kimmel, Colbert, or whoever. Fallon. I'm just, that's not my deal. I mean, you know, I faded out with David Letterman generations, plural, ago. So, but it's like tied with your boy on Fox. Who's your
Gutfeld?
Boy? Gutfeld.
Yeah.
But Colbert, and they're tied about 2.5 million each. So they're the number one shows. It obviously makes money for CBS. Paramount is, I think, succumbing to the president. The president's dictating policy at Paramount and CBS. I think that's pretty pathetic.
I don't think that's the case. I think that late night it's done. It's lost its edge. You still can't do what you can do on cable. You come out and you do a monologue, then you sit down with two people with prepared questions so they can tell you a story that they already know.
So I'm a trendsetter. I got out years ago when I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's awful. What changed? The only people that are worried about Colbert leaving right now are people that hate Trump or, you know, significant Democrats through and through.
I saw a good clip of Johnny Carson. You can pull it up on YouTube, why he didn't talk politics. He's like, it's an entertainment show.
That's what it should be.
He never would bring on like a Republican or Democrat. And if he did, it would be about, you know, Ronald Reagan owns a ranch or he likes California or something like that. It was never about policy.
Yeah.
Never.
I mean, you know, the only politics on the Johnny Carson show were if you were a comedian, did you get invited over to the chair or did you not? And that made or broke comedians of that era. Like that Johnny Carson made about 5 to 15 significant life-changing people out into the public at a time where there's no social media. It's not easy to get, famous at that time.
President Trump's a trip. He wants the NFL's DC team to be the Redskins, MLB's Cleveland back to the Indians. I mean, be president, man. Why does he worry about this stuff? It's so silly. Just
listen, if he's getting a lot of stuff done, I disagree with a lot of it. We talk about that. I'm not a MAGA guy. I'm more of a conservative person, but I don't mind that. I kind of like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I do.
Well, they're not changing their name.
No. And, I think that's pretty cool. My sister went to University of Illinois and they had, the Fighting Illini.
Well, but I think, I don't think it's a connotation that Irish people fight. It's that Irish people, if provoked into fighting, will fight. That's the Fighting Irish. It's not like Irish people are known to fight. They're not good people. They fight. If it was that, the name would be changed. But that's, so I don't care either way. I mean, if Native American Indians think it's derogatory, and I mean, I guess Redskins, I mean, I don't know how that's not, it's like they could be called the Chinamen. I think that wouldn't be a positive.
Yeah. Well, Corey, I haven't wasted a minute of my brain time. I don't have that much in there on this issue. But I don't mind if you switch it back when it was the Indians and the movie was Major League. It was funny. I mean,
I know.
We weren't laughing at
I'm
them.
probably the same way. As long as the Native American Indians don't care.
Yeah.
As long as they don't care, I don't care.
Listen, we were making it through the Braves, still doing this in
Yep,
2025, and nobody's doing anything, against political correctness there, I don't think.
Yep. Hey, the mayor's France trip costs $50K.
Yeah.
You ever go on a $50K junket with Caesars somewhere? It would be you and 24 other people, right? For $50K.
What's funny? I had pretty much, as the regional president, I had a company card that could go. No one would look at it.
Did you use it as a line of credit like Mayor LaToya Cantrell did when she was on the council?
Do you know that I probably cost myself tens of thousands of
Because you
dollars
have honor
in my
and integrity, using your own card instead of the Caesars card.
I'm even saying, like, if it was even borderline,
you use your own.
That's it.
Exactly.
Why am I in this role if you have to worry
get
about
paid?
me?
Exactly.
So when I see this, it makes me sick. And
you're not taking advantage. That's why.
Absolutely not.
You're living with honor.
What she's doing is just putting the middle finger up to the city.
Yep, all the time.
And I wish there was
All
a
the time.
thought bubble over her head. I don't know how big it would be, but if there was, I guarantee you this, Corey. She thinks she is going to move on from being the mayor and become a national person of interest.
She's delusional.
I know. I guarantee you that's
I
what
think
she
deep
thinks.
down inside, she thinks the opposite. I'm screwed. I had this nonprofit. I had the $1 million from the Wisner Fund in there. The damn IG figured it out. I had to give that back. Since I can't do a nonprofit now because it'll have zero in it. Who's going to give money? If I had $1 million, the seed money, people would donate. That's out. No one's going to hire me because I add no value to what they do.
They will.
I don't think so.
Watch.
I remember Mark Morial got hired by a law firm. Within a year, they parted ways. He was bringing in no business. He was showing not to worry. He was no rainmaker.
She's not going to take a job that's of significance. It's going to be of national importance. She's going to work at some think tank funded by Soros that has to have different points of view.
I can't see that lasting.
I will be sick to my stomach over the next 5 years at how much money she makes and how often we hear her name.
I totally disagree.
I'm just telling you right now.
I think it's going to be the dead opposite.
She should have imposter syndrome like nobody I've ever met. And it's the opposite.
I think she's going to be leaving New Orleans within the next few years, moving back to LA, and it'll be like a school teacher or something. Something like that. And then won't succeed at that because school teaching requires dedication and care.
There's zero chance. It's going to be something like Mitch did, which is a think tank of people that
Mitch is credible in some ways.
That's fine.
And can think and has, the Democrats like him. He's viable. This lady has nothing.
Listen,
like that.
when's the last time Mitch earned a paycheck?
I don't know what the word earned means. I mean, there's a lot of people in politics, Dan, but I wouldn't compare. We can get into the Mitch thing, bro, all these lobbyists, Republican and Democrat, that make millions after their political career. But I don't think it's fair to compare LaToya Cantrell to Mitch Landrieu or any Republican or Democrat. I think she's worthless.
I'm not comparing the two.
I don't think I don't think she has any value to anyone. They need to have money come out of it. Like, I don't know.
Corey, she became the mayor here twice.
Oh, I know. We're dumb. We're dumb.
But I mean, to think that some Soros organization or something like that would not look at her resume and not know the truth. You had the former Denver mayor say we would be lucky as a city if we got a mayor half as good as her. Think about that. You're going to tell me someone's not going to
Is there
land
a
a job?
crack epidemic going on in Denver right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that
Sheesh.
this is going to be disgusting.
That's you're making me nauseated.
Yeah.
You know, I loved your comment about, you know, she can't be embarrassed.
That's right.
Which is brilliant.
I was trying not to
This
use
one
it
I
every
think
week.
is this one has a lot of legs to it, and my stomach's starting to turn. So we're going to change the subject.
No,
when we
just
come
watch.
back.
We'll put this one in the ticker.
A break's coming. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Word is one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
As New Orleans as the mighty Mississippi, Corey Johnson.
The old miss, the old man.
On 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
Deep River, my home is over Jordan.
It's the real deal with Dan Real. Dan's not liking this. I'm influencing him, and it's costing him money. Later this week, he's heading to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Yep. That's the rumor I'm hearing, Dan.
I'm going to bring my 3 daughters, too. There's going to be a big number on that check.
Nice. That's good stuff, man. You won't be disappointed.
No.
Get some gumbo. Get the crab meat St. Francis appetizer.
All
You're going to
right.
be talking about it.
All right.
Seafood Merlaton.
All right.
A lot of places don't have seafood Merlaton. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville does. Lots of great seafood dishes, lamb chops and steak sizzling in butter. You can't go wrong. Killer gumbo, turtle soup, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. It is the real deal. Dan Reel's with us. Dan, I'm saving the best for last.
All right.
Geez, this French Quarter trash contract thing. First off, it shouldn't even be happening. I had Jane Cooper on. She's with the French Quarter Management District. They put up signs for streets before the Super Bowl. She wants to fix slate and sidewalks. Instead, she's got this trash distraction that shouldn't even be happening.
It's ridiculous. We talk about it
weekly.
Yeah, I wish we didn't, but it is newsworthy. And it's, what doesn't get talked about enough in this whole thing is the fact that the success came from Sydney stepping in when somebody couldn't do it. And it was so much better and it was cheaper than what would have been there. So we would have been tolerating Henry without this being probably a big issue if that continued. And you know what comes with that, Corey? People that visit this city say it's dirty and it stinks. You know what? That's gone way down. And what also has gone down is the crime. And so you got that combination. And then let's not overstate the amount of rodents and other things that comes in when you don't do what Sydney's doing. And, we had a stretch there where we made national news for people going in and checking out restaurants after dark. And so that whole layer is in my brain when I hear that Sydney not only does it better, but he does it for less money. And how it's a topic, I have no idea.
At the least, that's the number one thing for the future contract, that it's in writing that all these enhanced services are part of the deal, and at that price that was pre-enhanced services. It shows it can be done where the trash, company makes money and they still do a great job. I mean, there are very few things that the city does right, Dan, in New Orleans, where people are like, boy, the city does that right. Festivals, Mardi Gras, things like that. We do that right.
Yep.
We don't do many things right. The way the French Quarter and the CBD is being cleaned right now, Warehouse District, we seem to be doing that right, where, there's a national story. Citizens and business owners in the French Quarter are trying to save a trash contract.
Yeah, I always try to balance the culture of the city and progress. And I think the city deserves better. I've been saying that since we've been talking, and we wouldn't have known how better it could have been if Henry wasn't fighting with Richards at the time and they got stood up and actually delivered the business. It would be the same old dirty, smelly place that it was.
Yep.
And now we find out what could be. And I believe that's the way the city should be run. You mix culture with a business mind and you just focus on the economy here. Everybody wins.
How about the latest? The council had an emergency meeting yesterday about the trash contracts.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're not talking like, people that don't like the mayor. We're talking about the mayor's CAO, Gilbert Montano. I know you've met him.
Yep.
The deputy CAO, Joe Threat, the sanitation director, Matt Torrey. All of them said, we had a meeting July 9th. The mayor said, we're going to keep IV waste through the end of the year. They wake up like the next morning finding out by the media that the mayor said it's an emergency and Henry's getting the deal. It's just the mayor, something happened that night, a phone call, a meeting, something.
Well, she puts people that work for her in unfair positions. And, Gilbert could probably write a bestseller the day that he retires or moves out of that office.
Wow. Literally.
Yeah. I mean,
literally.
if you knew what really went on or what didn't,
that could be a movie. My time in New Orleans, in dysfunctional New Orleans with a ridiculously dysfunctional mayor.
Yeah, I mean,
a movie.
They would take the book and put it in the fiction section, and then they'd have to go, no. Unfortunately,
it's real.
That's real. That happened.
And we didn't have to embellish or exaggerate. We had to take it back a little bit to fit it all in the 2-hour window.
That's right. And it's just unfortunate. So yeah, they get put in bad positions where now send everything through information requests instead of being able to come back out and say, you know what? Yeah, we spent $50,000. Here's where it went. Here's what we did. Here's what I did. You judge if that was worth it. That's the way this is supposed to work. Not having to go through Freedom of Information Act requests to find out every dollar.
No, it's ridiculous. You're right. The state AG, Liz Murrow, says Junket Cantrell is abusing the emergency powers. Like she's saying there's an emergency when there isn't one, so she can implement these enhanced emergency powers that she gets when there's a true emergency.
Yeah, I feel like I'm piling on, but it's just
pile on, Dan. Pile on.
I've done enough. We're what 80 something days away, or in that ballpark, I'm just waiting for that to happen.
The October 11th, the election, and then
January.
Yep,
something.
January we'll have a new mayor.
Yep.
But latest polls, your boy Royce Duplessis, who you like, just as I said, all it did is take away from Oliver Thomas. Did not affect Helena Moreno one bit. She's hovering around 47%. Duplessis checks in at around 14. Oliver Thomas goes from low 20s to 16%. Arthur Hunter goes from lucky to get 9, 10, 11% to 4%. Arthur Hunter's going to bail out of this race.
Yep.
Duplessis is just taking votes away from Oliver Thomas. Helena Moreno could win in a primary.
Yeah, I told you I don't have a problem. She becomes the next mayor, but I'm rooting for Royce. And unfortunately, at this point in time, I don't know if I should share this publicly or not. I'm still 5% of his donations. He's in trouble. I thought he had a plan. He might still. He's a great guy. I can't believe he's got what he has in the bank.
I'm going to send you the video I saw today, and it's he would say it's working from the bottom up like you're supposed to, but it's not. This just fixation. Oliver Thomas has it. Royce Duplessis has it. Just like bringing the lower class people up. All focusing on that. It's like focusing on the city as a whole. The rising tide lifts all ships. This worthless focus on just to get elected. Like, we're worried about you poor folks. It's just a rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
There has to be a plan that's bigger than them, where the poor folks, the middle class, the wealthy, everybody, it's an incidental. We all do better because the city's better.
There is zero doubt that the rising tides theory works with this situation, and it needs to continue to happen. It's going to happen in St. Bernard with the port, and hopefully we see it happen in the East.
Now, I'm going to send you the video of Royce. It's hyper woke, loony left.
He gets it though. I'm telling you. He gets it. If Royce became mayor, we would not be panicking.
Blue Boy could do a better job than LaToya Cantrell.
Well, I don't know about that. But
Blue Boy couldn't do a better job than LaToya Cantrell.
Listen, I want to be fair to her. I pounded the
I think you could put 2 bowls of food out and let Blue Boy run to one, and it would be better decision making overall than LaToya Cantrell.
Listen, you're trying to get me guilty by association here, and I did it well myself.
Well, just praise Blue Boy. Dan, always a pleasure, brother.
I do. Thanks for having me on.
On the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM. WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Are you familiar with AC/DC, Mario Brothers?
Oh, yeah. You kidding me?
Really?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be AC/DC doing George Benson's On Broadway. It's on YouTube, but I think it's a fake.
Oh, okay.
Here's Drew Brees. Yeah, you right. Welcome back, Crescent City. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. If you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed a lot. Dan Reel was with us every Tuesday. The Real Deal with Dan Reel. Lots of topics, lots of opinions. 5 o'clock powwow on a ridiculously hot Tuesday. Stay hydrated. It's dangerous out there. It's so hot. 90-something, feels like 100-something. High humidity. It's hot out there. Stay hydrated. Lots of agua, water, H2O. Drink up. Like I'm doing right now, live on the air, live on the radio, live on television, on YouTube, The Nutriground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls, fielding your phone calls, 766-9480. If you listened last hour, boy, Louisiana's weaker ethics law, sewage and water board, $300 million power substation delayed, House Republicans voting to block the release of the Epstein files, Louisiana canceling the Mid-Barataria sediment diversion project, Biloxi could get 2 new casinos, why does New Orleans have a land-based monopoly, Times-Picayune, a third of all apartments in the East are for sale, CBS announces the cancellation of Stephen Colbert, French Quarter trash contract, President Trump wants the NFL DC team back to Redskins, Major League Baseball back to Indians, the Cleveland team, new mayor's polls out. I'll fill you in on that. Speaking of the existing mayor, Junket Cantrell, France trip cost $50,000. AG Liz Murrell filing a brief to stop the mayor's false emergency. I can go on and on and on and on. Yeah, you're right. Love to hear from you. 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Questions, comments, concerns, any of it. Dan Reel was kind of like, man, I want to get off the mayor topic because it's this continuing bashing, I don't want to look like I'm just ripping the mayor. I was like, dude, you don't know the problem I have with that. I often have to disclaim it. You know, I think I'm very fair. I think I'm very objective. I don't lean loony left. I don't lean wacky right. I'm a moderate. And I don't think if you're a Republican or a Democrat, it's a problem. I'm just telling you how I am. I have a lot of empathy. I like understanding how the other side thinks. I like asking questions. I'm naturally curious. I'm not very judgmental like with other people. Do what you want. I'm glad for you if you're happy. You know, I just kind of roll with it. But I don't know. I love getting input from you folks. 766-9480. I love giving opinions. I love getting opinions. I love getting critiques. I like learning. I love information, especially when I'm getting corrected from something. No, Dan Reel joins us live in studio, and we knock out a slew of topics every single week. And yeah, not scared to give opinions at all. Like on the French Quarter trash contract, we all know the deal on this. Ivy Waste should be finishing up through December. And in the next few weeks, the city and the council should be focusing on January of 2026 and who will be the future trash contractor, and making sure that they're doing it for the dollar amounts that we're seeing today, but at the enhanced service we're seeing today. Ivy Waste has shown that, hey, we can make a profit and do a better job. So holding these trash folks to a higher standard, what's wrong with that? The city wins, the citizens win. We're getting more for our dollar. There's no downside to that. The French Quarter trash contract thing's easy. The problem shouldn't even exist. But LaToya Junket Cantrell's the mayor, so self-made problem, self-made emergency. It makes sense. But speaking of the mayor, Junket Cantrell, the latest trip to France cost the city $50,000, north of 50 grand. That's like pretty much a family of four's income. I think a family of four income in Metro New Orleans about $60,000. Most folks can't even conceive in New Orleans. I'd say 95% plus, 19 out of 20 Metro New Orleans residents can't even conceive spending $50,000 on a single trip. I know people that go skiing, that have wherewithal, that are rich, even some folks that are wealthy, folks that are worth tens of millions of dollars, some worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I know them. Some are friends. Some of them are acquaintances. They have houses in Aspen. They have condos on the beach. They have houses in Highland, North Carolina. They'll spend 25, 30, 40, 50 grand on a family vacation. They'll also have grandma and nieces and nephews, and they're paying for everything. And they're spending $30, $40, $50,000. That's what very rich and wealthy people that have earned the money or inherited the money, have the money, stole the money, whatever. That's what rich and wealthy people do. The mayor, latest trip to France, $50,000. The mayor wasn't there like 2 weeks. The mayor wasn't there with a dozen people. It's hard to spend 50 grand on a trip. And I think it's the mayor and like 2 or 3 other city flunkies. That's it. Crazy. Speaking of the mayor, not Junket Cantrell, a new mayoral poll is out. Exactly as I said. Royce Duplessis coming into the race is only going to hurt Oliver Thomas. First poll that's out verifies what I've said. Helena Moreno's not losing any votes to Royce Duplessis. Very, very few. Or to Oliver Thomas or to Arthur Hunter. Oliver Thomas needs to get white votes. And Oliver Thomas is going to have a very hard time getting white votes. Oliver Thomas's probably number one goal should be to make sure the black female vote doesn't get out of control where Helena Moreno gets too large of a percentage. That's the hemorrhaging that's going on that he should try to stop. But I don't think there's a way to stop it. Helena Moreno's numbers, steady. Royce Duplessis jumping in the race. Helena Moreno's numbers are right where they've been all along, like 47%. She might win in a primary. Oliver Thomas was less than double, like around 20, 22%. He's now down to 16%. Arthur Hunter was happy when he was getting double digits, 10, 11%. He's down to 4%, and Royce Duplessis is at 14. Royce Duplessis, coming out of the gate from nowhere, has almost the same percentage of votes as Oliver Thomas right now, polling almost the same as Oliver Thomas. Oliver Thomas down from around 22%, 23% to 16. Arthur Hunter down from 10, 11% to 4%. Where did those percentages go? To Royce Duplessis, 14%. Helena Moreno, 47%, holding steady. So Royce Duplessis didn't take any votes away from Helena Moreno, but took votes away from Oliver Thomas and Arthur Hunter. Arthur Hunter at 4%. I mean, he'll be fading out of the race sometime soon, I would imagine. In the next month, 6 weeks, done. Can't win. Oliver Thomas can't win. I've been saying this all along. Helena Moreno is the prohibitive favorite. The number one reason, black female voters. The number one demographic of voters in New Orleans. They elect people, black female voters. Helena Moreno is going to get a nice double-digit chunk, not 5, 6, 8%. That's what Oliver Thomas is going to get with the white vote. Less than 10%. Oliver Thomas is going to get like 3, 5, 7% tops of the white vote. Watch. And Helena Moreno is going to get double-digit black female. She's going to get 25, 30%, maybe more of the black female vote in New Orleans. And that's the mayor's race, the gist of it. Hate to break it down to color, but it is what it is. Oliver Thomas is black. Helena Moreno is Latina. That's even better for her than being white. Even though she's white, she's Latina. So there's a bunch of black females that maybe someone would be like, I don't know if I'd vote for a white woman, but I'll vote for this Latina. No, this race is pretty much over with. The real question is, does Helena Moreno win in a primary or not? Does she garner 50+% of the vote in the primary and there's no runoff in November? Right now, it'd be Helena Moreno getting right under 50% and a runoff with Oliver Thomas. And just, I don't see any way Oliver Thomas can win the mayor's race. And then Oliver Thomas has like $350,000 in his war chest. Helena Moreno's got 1.7 million. Sometimes it's like a 10-to-1 difference in money being raised. Even when Oliver Thomas does really, really well, Helena Moreno does better than him. You know, you could have the Oliver Thomas having the best day and Helena Moreno does better. So a lot more money, a lot bigger percentage of the vote, a lot of the black female vote, and retaining pretty much all the white vote. How can Oliver Thomas win? He can't. Helena Moreno will be the next mayor of New Orleans unless some crazy skeleton in the closet bombshell comes out, and I just don't think that's happening. I mean, Helena Moreno seems like a really good person. Everybody, I guess, has some kind of skeleton in the closet. Helena Moreno's are probably just very minor, you know. When I was in college, I sold some clothes to a friend of mine and didn't pay taxes on the profit. It's going to be something like that, you know. That's her skeletons in the closet. Hey, Katie's, why aren't you at Katie's right now, as New Orleans as it gets? Katie's in Mid-City, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. Iberville, corner Tallahassee. Get over there tonight for dinner. Katie's in Mid-City.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-JC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog.
Yeah, you right. 766-9480 is how you dial us up to participate in the program. 766-9480. Dan Reel just joined us. The Real Deal with Dan Reel. Lots of topics, including the French Quarter trash contract. Now, it's going to be interesting to see because this is all going down within the next week and a half. Now, I had Troy Henry on the program, and he even was like a little confused with the dates. He was like, yeah, either start on the 31st or August 1st. The 31st, July 31st, is a week from this Thursday. Next week, Thursday. August 1st is a week from this Friday. Next week. So we're going to know something in the next 10 days. And it's either going to be IV waste continuing. We had Jan Cooper on yesterday from the French Quarter Management District. She said they've already chosen IV waste. They did an RFP. IV waste was the only person that put in a request for the work. So if it gets to the point where there is like turmoil, there's limbo, IV waste is out, but Henry can't start, the French Quarter will implement IV waste to just continue through January. That's obviously what should happen. That's what everyone wants to happen. I said yesterday, except 4 people. Except Mayor LaToya Cantrell, except Troy Henry, except Oliver Thomas, and except Richard's Disposal. Those 4 people. Everybody else wants to see IV waste continue through December. No, the most critical part is it's what's best for the citizens. And the emergency contract that Henry gets it's like 5 months and it's $8 million. I'm lost because the 8-year contract's $73 million a year. So the 8-year contract's like $9 million for the year. $9 million for the year. Henry's getting $8 million for 5 months. So I'm lost on that. More expensive, less quality work. Henry says he'll do at least as good as Ivy Waste? Was he going to do that before Ivy Waste came in, or did Ivy Waste motivate him? Anyway, this all comes to a head. This shouldn't even be an issue. Ivy Waste should be finishing through December. And then in the next month or two, what the city should be focusing in on is January of 2026 and beyond. Who's going to take over the contract when Ivy Waste's emergency deal ends in December? That's what the city should be focused on. Instead, it's Mayor LaToya Cantrell. She can't help but, muck up the works, put cat poop in the punch bowl. That's her MO. Contrary, belligerent, do the opposite. What are they saying I should do? I'll do the opposite. No, just the worst. October, a new mayor's election can't come soon enough. In January when she's ousted. Boy, Dan Reel made me almost want to throw up earlier. He is, Dan leans a little right. There's no doubt he's conservative. He thinks like George Soros, some liberal think tank's going to hire LaToya Cantrell after she's done as mayor, and she's going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars on like some speaking circuit. I'm like, no way, impossible. But I shouldn't say impossible because we're talking about loony left, woke, the opposite of wacky right. The extremists do all kind of crazy crap, left and right, Republicans and Democrats. But someone seeing value in LaToya Cantrell, I guess there's someone that sees value, that just the fact that the hyper liberal woke folks seeing a black woman that was mayor of a city, that might be enough. It's elected twice, doesn't matter, corrupt, deviant, no progress. She can sit there and just lie and say how she moved New Orleans forward. And these woke liberal folks will buy into it and believe it. They want to believe it. I talk about this all the time with the extremes, especially extreme left, extreme right, believing what they want to believe, believing what they hope is true, not what is, not where the facts lead them. So they're not going to look into the city's progress and if the mayor did a good job or not. That is sickening. I hope Dan Reel's dead wrong on that one, because Mayor LaToya Cantrell, after this, deserves to go make her own money, earn her own money, go get a real job like everybody else. That's what sucks the most about this mayor. Everybody out there, 99% of us watching, listening to the show, just like me, we're all the same. Paycheck to paycheck, earn our money. No city contracts, no free gigs with the city or the state, where you get a mailbox check and you don't have to worry about providing any service. We don't provide service. We don't do our job. We're fired. No, so, the mayor getting some free gig after being the mayor, that would be kind of nauseating. It's like the mayor's latest trip to France costing the city $50,000. This mayor is on drugs. I know she drinks too much. Now I'm wondering, is she on some pain pills or drugs? Because she just does not give a crap, and it never stops. She is relentless on not giving a crap. She is hell-bent, driving with the accelerator pushed on to the floor for not having honor, pride, integrity, ethics. Deviant behavior. What can I get away with? What can I steal? She loves all that. So no, can't come soon enough. 50 grand, the trip to France. Crazy. The state AG, Liz Murrell, says that Junket Cantrell is abusing the emergency powers. That there is no emergency, therefore she shouldn't have enhanced powers. We'll see where that goes. Hey, it's the final day for the public to give feedback tonight. Input tonight, City Park's new master plan. It's a 25-year master plan. One good thing about this forum that I have for years and years, decades now, being in front of a mic, being in front of a camera, I take it as a responsibility. I don't pat myself on the back too often. Helping to get Mike the Tiger's cage at LSU. A lot of people thought about that, but I was talking about it a lot, and momentum built. Saving Tulane athletics from downgrading. City Park master plan. The original one was insane. The Grodat folks got most of the traction, which to me was comical. And I love Grodad. I think it's great. Inner city kids farming at City Park, eating what they grow. It's great. Lessons learned, all that. But Grodad could pretty much go anywhere. They were like, we've cultivated the soil for growing for years. We go somewhere else. It would take years to get us to where we are. I hear you. I'm not saying that's not true, but it's a farm for inner city kids. There's anywhere in City Park you could put that. No mention of a $30 million golf course built in 2016, less than 10 years ago when this previous master plan was trying to get implemented. The master plan's released. I'm looking at the map of the master plan, like the plan itself, physically, the map. And I'm noticing like a roadway and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's like where the golf course today exists. So I'm online saying, this can't be happening. You're losing X amount of holes on the front. You're losing X amount of holes on the back. And then it turned into like people not caring about the golf course. And then I'm like, if City Park had a $30 million building that was less than 10 years old, $30 million, and it was making money for the park, it supported itself and gave money to the park like golf does, pays for itself and gives money back to the course. You'd tear down half the building for like a road or some, ready, fire, aim type of plan. So no, I made that public that this golf course was going to get destroyed, less than 10 years old, and brought the information to light like it's $30 million. $10 million, a full third of it came from like the 4Kids Foundation, the Zurich Classic folks, the Zurich Insurance Company, the PGA Tour put up north of $1 million. They didn't put it up for the course to be there 7-8 years and get destroyed for a City Park master plan. They figured that golf course that's less than 10 years old would be part of the City Park master plan. So no, I called that out and said, hey, if Grodad's going to be the thing that stops this, fantastic. Let it be Grodad. But obviously the $30 million golf course should have been the main thing. And then it ended up being at least part of it. I still think Grodad was the number one mover. I mean, I swear, just folks afraid of inner city, children are involved, Black community, folks just crapping in their depends when they heard that. So this Grodad thing got the City Park master plan scrapped, coupled with the $30 million golf course, making that known by just simply looking at the map. No, then enough momentum took place where they had to scrap the plan. The leader of City Park left and took a job in Houston. And now they've got a new master plan. Tonight they're meeting. You can give your input. 25-year master plan. A couple $100 million going to be spent for City Park. I'll tell you what, we're lucky. Because City Park and Audubon Park, they're world-class parks. They're state-of-the-art. They're as good as it gets. I mean, I don't care where you've been in America. Piedmont Park in Atlanta, the park in Chicago downtown, Central Park in New York, wherever. City Park in New Orleans, Audubon Park in Uptown New Orleans, a couple of the nicest public parks in the entire country. We're lucky. We're lucky. Post-Katrina, I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars poured into City Park. And definitely north of $100 million poured into Audubon Park. I mean, think about Audubon Park. One side of it's the streetcar line. The other side of it's the mighty Mississippi River. It's surrounded by multi-million-dollar homes that are over 100 years old. Oak trees that are hundreds of years old. Audubon Park is special. It's got a great golf course for, executive course, mostly par threes. The tee room's fantastic. The zoo is world-class zoo. I mean, you walk into the zoo, you think you're at Disneyland. It's just clean and plush and nice. Audubon Park's nice. And City Park, my God, it's endless amenities. City Park Championship Golf Course, the tennis facility, the great lawn. And they've got like a good 40% of the land that still could be used. A lot of land not even being used or could be reused. City Park master plan tonight. Of Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. Audubon Gutters has been with you for nearly 35 years. Drew and his crew will take care of you. Get it and forget it. The Leaf Guard system. Never have to pay someone to get up on a ladder and clean your gutters again, or worse, you on a ladder cleaning your gutters. Audubon Gutters, if you need gutters for your home or business. New Orleans' own audubongutters.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called quick lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets. As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Yeah, you right. Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday afternoon. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480 on this Tuesday afternoon. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls, fielding your phone calls. If you have a question or comment, talking about the trash contract, that will be solved within the next week and a half. I mean, first off, the mayor is pathetic, but it isn't anti-mayor. I just follow facts. If the mayor was right, like Gosson Corbin, who ran the Sewage and Water Board. The mayor was right on that call. I gave her credit for that her entire term. She went outside the box. She didn't hire some appointed, anointed political hack. She didn't, Mitch Landrieu, who I think is an honorable person, a much better mayor than LaToya Cantrell. I don't think he was a great mayor. I think Mitch Landrieu is a little too political for me. But, I mean, Mitch Landrieu at least, had some kind of integrity and honor and a little bit of pride and cared about himself and citizens and didn't go on junkets and trips and didn't abuse his power and never meddled with like a trash contract like this because he could. And Mayor LaToya Cantrell does it all the time and just does not seem to care. So in the next 10 days, all this comes to a head. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Because it is beyond ridiculous. Plus the, city of New Orleans with, besides the French Quarter trash contract, how's the city plan on fixing the once a week trash pickup? It was always 2 times a week. The fee is the same. You pay it with your sewage and water board bill. The trash collection fee is the same, but pickup is once a week in Orleans Parish. That's insane. I loved when I lived downtown, when I lived on Rampart Street, right across from the downtown post office, now the South Market District. I was like by myself down there. I loved it because trash pickup was every day, 7 days a week. CBD and French Quarter, 7 days a week trash pickup. So I was into that. That was a wonderful thing. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, next week and a half, 10 days. By next Thursday or Friday, it's either Henry taking over, IV Waste continuing, a limbo period where no one's doing it, so IV Waste would take over according to the French Quarter marketing or management district. We had Jane Cooper on yesterday from the French Quarter Management District. No, they've already selected IV Waste with their emergency RFP. But they only can implement it if there's like a problem, like IV Waste deal is terminated, but Henry can't start up and there's no one ready to go. A new mayoral poll, Royce Duplessis jumping in the mayor's race right before, the deadline. And I said it's not going to affect Helena Moreno one bit. Royce Duplessis is not taking Helena Moreno votes. But Royce Duplessis is going to take Oliver Thomas and Arthur Hunter votes potentially. And that's exactly what happened. Oliver Thomas was polling north of 20% everywhere. 20%, 22%, maybe as high 23, 24%. Helena Moreno was doubling those numbers. If Oliver Thomas was pulling 23%, Helena Moreno was pulling 46, 47%, more than double. And Oliver Thomas's numbers were, generally speaking, more than double of Arthur Hunter's. So when it was basically a 3-person race, it was, let's just make it easy, Arthur Hunter pulling 10%, Oliver Thomas pulling around 22, and Helena Moreno pulling around 45, just to make it easy. Now, Royce Duplessis jumps in the race. Right when I said this, he's not going to take any votes away from Helena Moreno, but he's going to take votes away from Arthur Hunter and Oliver Thomas, and that's exactly what happened. Oliver Thomas has dropped from the low 20s, 20, 21, 22, 23% to 16%. So he's lost 25% of his support because of Duplessis jumping in. Arthur Hunter has lost more than 50% of his support. He went from like 8, 9, 10% to 4%. Duplessis at 14%. Duplessis almost has the same percentage as Oliver Thomas. Essentially, Oliver Thomas and Royce Duplessis are tied for second place right now. And both of them are 3 times behind Helena Moreno now. You could triple Oliver Thomas's numbers at 16%, and he'd get to 48% to Helena Moreno's 47. If you tripled Oliver Thomas's poll numbers, Oliver Thomas and Helena Moreno would virtually be tied. If you tripled Oliver Thomas's poll numbers, this race, I mean, I've said it from day one, Helena Moreno's the prohibitive favorite. I said that Royce Duplessis jumping in the race last week only will take away from Hunter and Oliver Thomas, and that's exactly what's happened. That's exactly what's happened. Again, Helena Moreno holding steady at 47%. That's right where she was before Royce Duplessis got in the race. Oliver Thomas was in the low 20s. He's now at 16%. Arthur Hunter was around 10, 11%. He's now down to 4. And Royce Duplessis is at 14, almost tied with Oliver Thomas, just 2 points back. So the new mayoral poll, Royce Duplessis taking votes away from Oliver Thomas and Arthur Hunter. That's it. That's it. State AG Liz Murrell says Junket Cantrell is abusing her emergency powers. Should have never been implemented to begin with. You can't just make up an emergency. So Liz Murrell is suing that the mayor made up the emergency and that the mayor is now using the emergency to put Henry in as the trash provider for the French Quarter and beyond. Hey, final day to head to City Park and give your input, your feedback on City Park's new master plan. Tonight's the last night where they hear from the public. 25-year master plan, about $200 million. Boy, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, when you're not winning, you come up with black helmets. Now it's gold jerseys like 2 weeks later.
Man.
I mean, that winning teams, I'm not saying winning teams don't do that.
Yeah.
But it's just a, hey, we're doing this and that's great. And you move on. For the Saints, this is like a big, big topic because the team isn't right now.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I
know the players the last few years have been pushing for gold jerseys, and they were like,
no, I'm sure, but I'm just saying when you lose, and that's why.
But I feel like it's like Kellen Moore just doing it to make the players happy.
Maybe so.
First year coach.
Maybe so. I think to get the fans excited too.
A little bit.
A little fan interest.
They did it. It's nostalgia too, because they did it like 20 years ago.
It's so funny. I mean, I'm fired up for Shuck and new quarterback, and we've seen what rookies have done the last few years in the NFL, where that was taboo in the past. Like no rookies had success in the past. None.
Yeah.
Now rookies are succeeding, taking teams to playoffs and the like.
I mean, look at it just from a Saints standpoint, right? Last 2 times this happened, first year head coach Jim Haslett took over a bad situation from Ditka, right? People didn't know what Aaron Brooks was at the time. He had a good season. They won a playoff game. Same with Sean Payton. He took over a bad
playing
team.
quarterback, Monday quarterback. You had Mike McCarthy as the offensive coordinator.
True, exactly.
And those were the most prolific offenses in the history of the Saints up until Breeze.
But my point is, you got better.
And they brought in 33 out of 53 new players on that roster.
Yeah, and still a lot of work to do, but people didn't know Brooks was going to be that good that year. They definitely didn't think Breeze was going to be as good as he was. So maybe Shuck is better than people expect, and that impacts the rest of the team.
Oh, no, there's no doubt. If Shuck plays like Bo Nix in Denver, they win maybe 9-10 games. Yeah. He plays like Jaden Daniels in D.C. I mean, he's like a Pro Bowler, and they win like 10 or 11 games.
Yeah, which would be an awesome season.
But if Shuck just plays like an average rookie and just has a decent year, they're 6-7 win team.
Yeah.
The best way, Mario Brothers, I mean, as a fan, you want to get emotionally involved. But the thing that I've learned over time, I follow the money, and there are 2 great barometers to look at. The over-under in Vegas, because they're not playing around. They're not, we really think the Saints are going to win 10, but we're going to put them at 5. We really think the Saints are going to win 5, but we're going to put them at 10. They put them where they think they're going to be. They're not always right, but they're right more than they're wrong.
For sure.
The bettors are wrong more than they're right.
Yeah.
The house is right more than they're wrong.
For sure.
With the juice, it guarantees it. So the over-under, there's money on the line. It's important for them.
Yeah.
So they're scrutinizing it. They're looking at it as best they can.
And for the most part, they're right. But also every year you have like the Commanders
Of
last year.
course, you have the
Like,
outliers, but
just
these are low percentages
exactly.
though.
But just from a betting standpoint, like if you bet on the Commanders to make it to the
Oh
NFC
no, you made a
Championship
lot
game,
of money.
Same with the Lions the year
Of course,
before. You bet 'em.
but the 20 years you did it in the past, you lost money, so you're barely.
sure.
Are you even breaking
And
even?
yeah,
You
not
know?
not saying it's going to be the Saints this year, but there's always a team like that. And from a betting standpoint, that's kind of a fun exercise.
And then the second barometer is primetime games.
Yep.
Thursday is the loser slot. You said it. Everyone gets one of those. The Saints got one of those.
Yeah, they were on.
They
Monday.
don't have a Sunday night. They don't have a Monday night. Saints used to get 5 of those. What was the limit? Like 5?
Yeah, they were on Monday night all the time. With
Yeah, I mean, come on. There was like, I think 5 primetime, maybe 6. 5 or 6 is the most you can get.
Yeah.
With the flex. Saints always had like 4 or 5 getting flexed in the right spot.
Yep.
Now they have a Thursday only. So ABC, ESPN, the folks where money's on the line, they don't want a dud of a game. They do that. Advertisers run. They lose money.
Yes.
So ratings are important. Great games are important. Do they mess that up? Yes.
Yeah.
There'll be a Monday night game in December that sucks. But there's money on the line. There are no primetime games for the Saints. The over-under for the Saints is what, like 5.5 or 6, something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
6.5?
I think lower, like 4.5.
Yeah.
5.5,
So, I mean,
yeah.
you know, the Saints are not expected to win this year, according to people where their livelihoods on the line, not just fans.
Let's hope they're
not
wrong.
just fans. No, of course, let's hope they're wrong. You're right. And they could be, but the percentage of them being wrong is very low.
Fair.
Coming right back.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
TM-JC.com, your cool spots.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The vibe of the Crescent City, Corey Johnson.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
A heat advisory today, tomorrow. We had it yesterday, the day before. Dangerous heat. Stay hydrated. Stay out of the heat. You know, people that don't have air conditioning, especially folks with health issues or the elderly, go pick them up at 9:30, 10 in the morning. Go grocery shopping with them. Take them to the mall. Go to the Walmart, the Target, public library, community center. Get them in air conditioning, especially from like 10 o'clock to like 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get them in air conditioning. If you need air conditioning help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, Total Maintenance is there. Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys, they come immediately. They're air conditioning experts. They're going to do you right. They've got a sterling reputation in Southeast Louisiana for 40 plus years. If you need air conditioning help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. Ozzy Osbourne passing away. It's amazing Ozzy Osbourne made it into his 70s. He partied hard. He bit the head off of a bat.
So that's like his claim to fame, man.
Yep. No, he rode the crazy train, but he's flying high again, Mario Brothers.
R.I.P.
Yep.
I've seen a bunch of memes with him and the Motorhead guy in heaven together.
Ozzy Osbourne. Now, what's the story with Randy Rhoads, like his guitarist? Like, I want to say Ozzy Osbourne ran Randy Rhoads over, like, in his airplane, like the plane was on the ground.
Oh, my God.
And rammed the plane into the house or something like that. Why don't you Google Randy Rhoads' death?
Okay.
And I think it's R-H-O-D-E, I think Randy Rhoads, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe. Is it an R-H?
Yeah. R-H-O-A-D-S.
Yep. How did he die? He was young, but he was a ridiculously good guitarist.
Yeah.
Just go to Wiki and go down to death.
It was a plane crash, yeah. He
But like on the ground.
on tour with Osborne. Yeah,
Well, I don't think the plane was in the air.
no. Scrolling down here, let's see. Death. Rhodes played his last show. Plane crash. Tour bus driver took a single engine. Yeah, it's what you described.
What happened?
It's kind of complicated to explain, honestly.
But it wasn't in flight, right?
No.
It was on the ground.
Yeah. They botched the third attempt at takeoff. Yeah.
I don't.
And one of the plane's wings clipped the top of the tour bus, breaking the wing into two parts and sending the plane spiraling.
Yeah, and I thought Ozzy had something to do with it. Either was in the plane or maybe the tour bus. I
Yeah,
have no
yeah.
idea.
He was on the plane, and Sharon Osbourne, his wife, I guess, was asleep on the bus and awoken by the crash.
Wow. Anyway.
Yeah. Not sure if he was to blame for the bus being there, but yeah, he was in the bus when the wing clipped it. Yeah.
Boy, the Honey Badger retiring. Did that kind of shock you, Mario Brothers?
Not at all.
Not at all?
If you want my honest opinion, I think it's a good thing in that it shows that the young players in the secondary are probably progressing, and he doesn't think he's going to play much.
Really? You
Yeah.
think that's what he's thinking?
I think that's a big part of it. I mean, I don't want to say he's washed. I think it's funny with Tyron because I feel like all the LSU people kind of overrate him, and all the people that aren't for LSU maybe underrate him.
What, as a pro you're talking about?
No, just like current day, because he was a great player, like all pro caliber
LSU,
player.
he was one of the greatest college players I've ever seen in my life.
And early on in the NFL with the Cardinals, as recent with the Chiefs a couple years ago, and he's still savvy. I think he led the team in interceptions the last two seasons.
I guess Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu, and your boy whose brother was
Eric Reed.
Raheem Alem's brother.
Chad Jones.
Chad Jones.
Yeah.
Chad Jones, you could argue the greatest athlete in LSU history. You could argue that.
Yeah.
He won a national championship in baseball. He won a national championship in football. He was 230 pounds and he returned punts.
Yeah.
He'd be the largest punt returner in the NFL.
He's one of them.
He had a 4.4 40. He was 230.
One of my favorite
Chad
players.
Jones was a badass.
Yeah,
I mean,
all those
100%, 110%.
Mhm.
Could pitch, was lefty.
Yeah.
I mean, he was insane, dude.
Yeah.
Patrick Peterson, I mean, we know that was an interception on the sideline. I think he outdoed Julio Jones. Peterson, but Tyrann Mathieu was electric. He was instinctive to the ball. He just made play after play after play after play. You could argue should have won the Heisman that year if he wouldn't have got in trouble. I mean,
Getting that close to the defensive player in 2011, hella impressive.
he was incredible.
Yeah, legendary player, one of my all-time favorites.
The Honey Badger, one of the best nicknames ever.
That's
one of the best sports nicknames ever.
I didn't even translate that on the Spanish broadcast. I didn't say Tijon them yet. I said Honey Badger. Like that's universal.
Guess who's going to Guitar Center after the program?
You?
Yeah, look at this thing. I've tightened it up like it doesn't have any integrity, this mic stand.
It's got ED. You said it.
Yeah, it does. It needs a Bluetooth. A blue chew.
Bluetooth be cool too, but yeah.
Bluetooth would be all right too. I could get on my phone and tell it to get into the right position. I love the Blue Chew commercials with these 25-year-old girls.
Yeah.
It's like your 25-year-old boyfriend's having a problem.
Y'all were talking about this earlier, man. I'm not no doctor, not to hate on the young generation, but I feel like vaping, like nicotine, is a big reason for that.
You are telling me 25, 30-year-old men need a Blue Chew because of nicotine and other things?
That's y'all were talking about like not wanting to work and all this. I think that's a more kind of tangible
Dude,
reason
when I was
for it.
25 years old, you said McDonald's and the wind was blowing, you know? I mean, come on.
I mean,
I
do you not see a lot of these kids vaping a lot?
Yeah. Oh, what are you talking about? I'm behind a car on Vets on Carrollton by Earhart.
Yes.
And I thought the car was on fire.
That's what I'm
Seriously.
saying. And
I was like, what the hell? I'm like, and then it stopped. And I was like, okay, what's going on? So I pull on the side. He's got like, it basically like about an iPhone, about 3 iPhones thick. And then it says this big nipple on the end. So it's a big box he's holding.
Yeah.
Because like the vape pen, I guess he just blow through that in 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And just this guy, I mean, I saw him. He was almost like exhaling. I'm looking at the dude. He's almost like blowing out. And then he sticks the thing on his mouth and he's drawing on the thing for like 10 seconds straight.
Yeah, man.
And then he exhales. And I'm telling you, the cloud was the largest cloud I've ever seen in my life coming out of someone's lungs.
They puffing that 100 times a day. You telling me that's not affecting their endurance?
Oh,
and
you
stuff
kidding?
Like that?
Yeah, no, I guess so. Anyway, the Blue Chew commercial should be like some old woman and some old man. It's like a 25-year-old girl. I love my guy got Blue Chew. I noticed the difference. Like, what's wrong with your guy? He's 25.
That's why they got Cialis.
Jeez, yeah, for old people. I don't get it.
Oh, man.
Anyway, yeah, we need some Blue Chew for the mic stand. That's pathetic. It won't hold the mic up. That's Mario Brothers. I'm Corey Johnson. We've got a special guest joining us. Let's pot up the mic for him right there. There he is. All right. Thank you, Mario Brothers. This guy is very intelligent. Welcome to the program, Mr. B. My pleasure to have you. You enjoy the Neutral Ground program. You think Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, does a good job? What? Remind people tomorrow, Wide Open Wednesday, straight up 4 o'clock. Blue Boy, you're right. What else? Everyone have a great night. Blue Boy, you're the man. Mañana.
You're on the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.